South Park just did something that has literally broken the internet, and the fallout is absolutely insane. Season 27 of South Park has officially returned after a 2-year hiatus, and Trey Parker and Matt Stone came back swinging harder than ever. The premiere episode, Sermon on the Mount, didn't just ruffle feathers. It completely obliterated the political landscape and sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry that are still reverberating today. But here's where things get absolutely wild. This isn't just another controversial South Park episode. This is a calculated nuclear strike against censorship, corporate influence, and political correctness that has government officials, media giants, and streaming platforms in complete meltdown mode. If you remember, in 2019, when South Park first declared war on censorship with Banned in China, that episode brutally exposed how Hollywood bends over backwards to avoid offending Chinese government censors. The response to this was swift and devastating. China completely scrubbed South Park from their internet. Every clip, episode, discussion thread, and fan page vanished overnight from Weibo, Youku, and Baidu's platforms. The creators' response was legendary. Instead of backing down, Parker and Stone issued a mock apology that read, "Like the NBA, we welcome the Chinese censors into our homes and into our hearts. We too love money more than freedom and democracy. She doesn't look like Winnie the Pooh at all." That episode featured Randy getting sent to a Chinese work camp, where he meets an imprisoned Winnie the Pooh, while Stan's metal band has their movie script constantly altered to please Chinese authorities. The message was crystal clear. Hollywood sacrifices artistic integrity for Chinese money. Fast forward to 2025, and Parker and Stone have pulled off something even more brilliant. Instead of continuing with the tired Mr. Garrison as Trump storyline that admittedly wasn't working, they've resurrected one of their most iconic villains, Saddam Hussein. But here's the genius move. They've made Saddam Hussein into President Trump. Same manipulative personality, same relationship with Satan, same iconic catchphrases from the 1999 movie. "Hey, relax, guy. I'm just your average Joe. Take a rest. It's nostalgic, it's fresh, and it completely sidesteps the creative fatigue that comes with directly parodying real political figures." The episode shows Trump Hussein threatening to bomb Canada over tariffs, getting into petty fights about portrait sizes, and maintaining his abusive relationship with Satan, who's concerned about being on the Epstein list. It's classic South Park irreverence with a modern political twist. The numbers don't lie. Season 27's premiere drew 6 million viewers across Comedy Central and Paramount Plus, while the second episode, Got a Nut, jumped to 6.2 million viewers, a 54% increase in the crucial 18 to 49 demographic. These are the highest cable viewership numbers for South Park since 2018. But what is driving this massive audience surge? People want genuine satirical content that isn't afraid to punch in every direction. While most entertainment opts to avoid controversy, South Park is leaning into the chaos, and audiences are responding with their wallets and increased viewing time. The real controversy exploded when the White House actually responded to the episode. Taylor Rogers, a White House spokesperson, released a statement calling South Park irrelevant for over 20 years and claiming the show is hanging on by a thread with uninspired ideas in a desperate attempt for attention. The accusation of no authentic or original content is beyond ridiculous when you're talking about the show that literally invented modern satirical animation. This is the series that pioneered real-time political commentary in cartoons, created the template for controversial animated content, and influenced an entire generation of comedy writers. Calling South Park unoriginal is like saying the Beatles ripped off modern music. But Parker's response to the White House criticism was pure genius. "We're terribly sorry." 2 words that perfectly encapsulate everything South Park stands for. No lengthy explanation, no defensive justification, just sarcastic dismissal that makes it crystal clear they couldn't care less about government pressure. Here's where the story gets even more twisted. The episode directly attacks Paramount Global. the very company that just signed South Park to a $1.5 billion deal. In the show, Jesus explains that he's being forced into schools as part of a lawsuit agreement with Paramount, essentially calling out their corporate overlords while still cashing their checks. This is unprecedented levels of biting the hand that feeds you. Most creators would never dare criticize their network or parent company so directly, but Parker and Stone have enough leverage and screw you money to say whatever they want. It's a masterclass in creative independence. Episode 2, Got a Nut, took things even further by tackling immigration policy through Mr. Mackey becoming an ICE agent after budget cuts. The episode culminates with Mackey and Clyde visiting Mar-a-Lago, being horrified by what they witness, and escaping with a rescued Dora the Explorer. The immigration storyline hits particularly hard because it's not just political commentary, it's genuine social criticism wrapped in South Park's signature absurdist humor. When Mackey raids a Dora the Explorer stage show, it's simultaneously ridiculous and deeply uncomfortable, which is exactly how effective satire should work. What separates South Park from every other animated series isn't just staying power. It's their weapon-grade relevance when competitors choose safety over substance. That 6-day production cycle transforms them into cultural snipers, striking at controversies while they're still smoking hot. Compare this to traditional animation. The Simpsons needs months to reference last year's news, but South Park dissects presidential scandals before the Twitter outrage even peaks. They've weaponized immediacy in ways that turn television into live political commentary. But here's what separates them from every other show trying to be edgy: complete creative anarchy. There's no corporate boardroom full of executives asking, "Will this hurt our brand partnership with McDonald's?" There's no focus group data suggesting they tone down the political commentary. It's literally just two guys in Colorado asking themselves, "Would this make us laugh?" and then doing it regardless of the consequences. Before we continue, hit that subscribe button, or you might be roasted in South Park. While The Simpsons and Family Guy were investing in elaborate animation and detailed backgrounds that look terrible when compressed for streaming, South Park's intentionally crude cutout style remained perfectly viewable at any resolution. What critics dismissed as lazy animation turned out to be genius efficiency for the bandwidth-limited world of early internet video. The crude animation style that critics mocked in 1997 suddenly became an advantage. When you're compressing video for online streaming, you lose visual detail and color depth. Shows with intricate animation suffer, but South Park's simple cutout style remains crystal clear at any resolution. What looked cheap on television looks intentionally minimalist online, but the real genius was the pacing. South Park's rapid-fire dialogue and joke density work perfectly for shortened attention spans and social media clips. A single episode generates dozens of quotable moments that spread across platforms organically. Try finding a memorable quote from a random episode of Friends versus a random South Park episode. It's not even close. What makes South Park's current success so remarkable is their complete resistance to corporate sanitization. While Disney homogenizes Marvel content and Netflix cancels shows based on algorithmic data, South Park continues operating like a two-person comedy troupe that happens to have a billion-dollar platform. The $1.5 billion Paramount deal essentially bought them complete creative freedom, and they're using that freedom to mock the very system that's funding them. It's the ultimate example of having your cake and eating it too, taking corporate money while maintaining complete artistic integrity. Those record viewership numbers tell the whole story. Audiences are desperately craving content that doesn't treat them like fragile children who need protection from offensive ideas. While Netflix cancels shows after one controversial tweet and Disney sanitizes every joke through 17 focus groups, South Park keeps pushing boundaries and watching their audience grow. That's exactly why South Park continues breaking the internet after nearly 3 decades. They're not just making television, they're making cultural history, one controversial episode at a time. If you want to see more breakdowns of the episodes that are reshaping television comedy, Check out these videos for the cultural commentary you won't find anywhere else.